Right, now we come to the direct high frequency part of the facial. Generally this would be performed right at the end of the facial after the moisturiser has been applied. Now we're using the same machine as the galvanic treatment, the disincrustation treatment, the Ultraderm machine. If you can remember that this machine has two sides. So if you imagine a line coming down the centre, this side's for galvanic and this side's for high frequency. So you just want to make sure that the high frequency switch is on and that will operate the machine. No red and black cords needed because we're just working this area. So you would have noticed that there are some electrodes at the back of your machine. We are now using the glass electrodes, okay? So these are your high frequency electrodes. This one here is probably your most common electrode. It's the mushroom, generally used for gliding, for antibacterial and germicidal action. We then have a smaller mushroom, and this is more for, it's more like a saturator because it's more concentrated, the high frequency is more concentrated out of the small head, and that is for generally a movement we called sparking for individual pustules. Then we have the horseshoe electrode, which is generally used for the neck, so it can go up and down the neck. We have a comb electrode, which is great if a client has psoriasis in their hair or acne in their hair, in their head, we can use that. And then we have a saturator electrode, which we use for the indirect high frequency treatment for massage. Right, for the horseshoe, generally to prepare it, I'm going to cut a piece of gauze off the gauze roll and secure it with a hair tie or rubber band. Okay, and this just provides a medium between the current and the skin. We're then going to place the electrode in the Evernet, okay, and then make sure our machine is on HF for high frequency, and we're going to turn up our timer. We just set it for 10 minutes, you may not need 10 minutes, but then it won't stop, so it's quite a good one. Just going to make sure it's turned on at the back. And you'll hear the timer ticking away. We have an intensity dial here, but we don't turn that up until we have actually placed the electrode on the skin, which I'm going to do now. Once again, always start at the forehead because that's the area that has the less adipose, and the currents will be feel a bit stronger in that area. Okay, so you can hear the current working. Just going to turn it up to just past halfway. Now once again, this is really important to be on the skin, keep it on the skin. There is a blue gas coming through the electrode. Now that is called neon. Generally neon or argon. I think this one might be argon. And just going to move it around. Pay particular attention to areas of congestion, acne and oiliness. The ozone that's produced, which is a byproduct of the neon gas and the oxygen in the air, is antibacterial and germicidal. So it's going to dry out any pustules, help heal any papules, and just promote healthy healing. Okay, that's the gliding. To turn off, I'm just going to keep it moving on the skin turn it down, and turn it off. Okay, now I turn off the timer. Now I'm going to change my electrode to my sparking electrode, and this one is generally used for individual pustules. Just turning it on to 5 minutes. I'm just going to, you can see how I'm actually breaking the circuit by putting my finger on the electrode, and then when I come to a pustule, I'm just going to release my finger and just spark by lifting the electrode off the skin no more than 5 millimeters, and it's a very concentrated delivering of ozone. Okay, and that's sparking. And to remove the electrode off the skin, I'm breaking the circuit by putting my finger on it, turn it down, and then turn it off.